Welcome to SEQUELIBRIUM. My name is Mike.
Chad.
That's Chad. And today's episode is one that I would say I've been waiting for to do with you since I thought about doing this podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely have always had you in the mind to do this this podcast because of how much you love movies. But I love Lethal Weapon 2 so much that's like that's one that I've been waiting for to watch. I mean, I didn't even really need to watch it. I watched like an hour of it and I took like so many fucking notes by myself while I was watching Buffy.
You know, I'm not sure we ever talked about Lethal Weapon 2 either.
No, we didn't because it's not it's not that kind of movie.
But then I gave you a list of movies.
Right in there, right in the middle was Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah, you didn't hesitate.
Fuck no, dude. Like, I would say another one that I'm waiting to do or that I'm excited to do is Creed 2.
Creed 2. I think I saw Creed 2.
The Rocky, it's basically
right.
Rocky 4, but with Creed's son.
Yeah.
So fucking good. So good. Oh my God. So Lethal Weapon 2, I guess what we should always do now is discuss the plot, or at least lay out the plot of the show or the movie in case you've not seen the movie. The movie is the continuing adventures of Riggs and Murtaugh, two fucking cops who just play by their own rules. Like, they have no disregard for, like, the law. You know, oh, they killed my wife and my girlfriend. Looks like I got to murder them now. Like, who the fuck gets the opportunity to do that? So, Riggs and Murtaugh are up against South African diplomats. And this was during, like, the height of Free South Africa. Like, right after this movie came out, Nelson Mandela was elected president, which I thought was so fucking funny. And two fucking assholes that are like, we have diplomatic immunity. We can do what we want. You can't even give me a parking ticket. Who's the dickhead now? Who is that guy? I've seen him in so many. Oh, he's fucking Hans from Donald Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
He's
yeah, that's
he's
right.
the first Hans from Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
And here he is fucking like killing people.
You know, I got to say, it's weird, but if not for Mel Gibson's acting performance in the first film, I don't think we would have seen a sequel to Lethal Weapon.
No. I know I'm only going to think about his Hans from Who's the Dickhead Now, Gordon? You and your quackers. Yeah, so basically they have to fight these guys, and they love cougar rants, the money cougar rants. So that's basically the gist of the second one, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
Like fighting South Africans, freeing South Africa. And then we got introduced to Joe Pesci in this one. So for some comic relief, like they thought the first one was a little too serious, so they're like, let's have a little bit of humor. The first one was dark. Riggs wanted to kill himself, like left and right. Yeah. I mean, dude. It was fucking intense. Speaking of his acting, to get back to that, like the first one was just incredible.
Yeah, when he sticks the gun up to his head and then sticks it in his mouth.
I mean, was he really fucking crying? Because it looked like it. Like I felt his fucking pain. Yeah. This one was. I mean, in the first one, he was. I mean, super depressed because his wife Vicky just died. And in this one, you have that resolution to Vicky's death, like. You got to hear more. He told Trish the story about, like the gold pen, get up now. Like, just that. Speaking of the best acting in the movie, right. Him doing the fucking drill instructor voice for himself. And, you fucking hear about Vicky and you find out who killed Vicky. And it's one of these fucking South African dudes, these like fucking Aryan assholes. I love that he calls him that. Aryan?
Yeah, it was quite the coincidence.
Right? Yeah, totally.
Killed his wife.
I know. Like, but I mean, that's kind of like the thing about sequels is that like tie into that story. We know Riggs's pain. In the end of the first one, he gives the bullet with a bow on it to Rianne to give to Murtaugh. Like, that, like he doesn't want to kill himself anymore, but there's still like the unsolved pain. And it, traveled through to all of them, like in the fourth one when he was gonna marry Renee Russo. You know, like he finally let go of his wife. So it like went all the way to the fourth one, which I thought was pretty neat. You know?
Does he never get with a psychiatrist? Because I swore
the sexual tension there. No, he ends up getting with internal affairs agent Renee Russo. Huh. It was pretty good. It was pretty awesome. They had like it was in the third one, and they had a show off of like who's got the badass scars. And then it like eventually turned into them like getting naked.
Yeah, okay. I remember that.
Yeah. It wasn't as hot as whatever that lady's name was in the second one. What's her name?
I don't know.
The Miss Secretary of Diplomats or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you watch Breaking Bad?
A little bit.
Did you notice Hank's in this movie?
No.
Yeah, he's the dude in the red flannel. With the bald head. He's like, you better come to my poker game.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. That's like one of the things that I love watching these old movies is like, you know, I've seen Lethal Weapon 2 like so many fucking times. But do you think I was like watching Breaking Bad going, hey, that's that guy from Lethal Weapon 2?
Yeah. So are you saying that Richard Donner, because I showed you a clip before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
And it was this cut they made where there were bullet wounds, and then they cut to where there weren't bullet wounds.
Typical action movie sequence. Typical. Always. Like when you first said that there was like a scene that it's like, you're going to see it, and you're like, how the fuck did I let that pass? I always thought that ever since I was a kid. Every time I watch that movie, I look for that scene. Because it's like, it's so fucking funny. Riggs shoots him 5 fucking times. There's like 5 blast holes on him, and then he comes up to him for one more shot, and it's blank.
Yeah.
Like, it's not one of those blips that you're like, did I just see that? No, you fucid saw that. Like, right. That was there. You don't have to rewind it to make sure you saw what you saw.
Yeah, even my daughter's like, what? How did nobody notice that?
I hope the editor got fired or something. Or like,
I mean, if they meant to do it, then that's just hilarious, and it makes me love it. Even more.
Well, speaking of the endings, this was in the IMDb trivia, is that like Shane Black, which the guy who wrote The Lethal Weapon, like the first one, and he wrote the story for this one, he originally wrote it for Riggs to die, for it to be over with. And I don't know what that has to do with anything with the fuck up, but it's just like, I thought that was like, that would have been a bummer.
Yeah. Like, to
be perfectly honest, like Lethal Weapon, I felt like it should not have stopped at 4. I mean, in between 3 and 4, there should have been fucking 4, 5, and 6. Like, there's